Welcome.
Welcome to the Everything Podcast, Season 2, Episode 96. So in the previous two episodes, I went through all of the Doctor Who 60th Anniversary news that had been announced. But I did mention at the end of Episode 95, which was the last episode, that there was some more announcements through Doctor Who magazine. I'm going to do it all, hopefully, in one video, so they're all in the right place. So I'm starting off with Doctor Who magazine issue 593, which has David Tennant and Catherine Tate on the cover. Now, I am a subscriber of Doctor Who magazine, which means that I get it a day early. So, yes. Hopefully, if I've done what I've meant to have done, it should be on screen right now. So, yeah, obviously I'm not going to go through all 80... How many pages is this one? 83. I'm not going to go through all 83 pages of the magazine, but I am going to go through the bits that apply to the 60th, some intertwined with Series 14. I'm going to do that in more detail after the 60th anniversary when we look at when I do all of the news for Series 14 like I did for the 60th. So we're starting off with the letter from the showrunner, who of course is Russell T Davies, and reads: Russell T Davies gives us the latest update from Doctor Who headquarters. I know nothing. I walk around Wolf Studios and know nothing about what people do. Not a blinking thing. There are fleets of them. Hordes of staff, the hardest working crew in the land. All heaving, sweating, groaning, measuring, staring, hammering, bewailing. Doing what? I have no idea. Case in point, there's a great set in the very last block of the 2024 series. It only plays for one scene, but a crucial scene, with a really lovely guest star unseen by the public, unannounced to the press because the scene took place secretly within the studio. So you've got a nice surprise to come. Oh, but this scene has been hotly debated this much now. Should it exist? Isn't needed. It's been an int. Without it's been reinserted. It's been cooked again until finally it's stayed, and it's in and out of status portrayed by its designation. Scene 27B. So I'm in the art department with Phil Sims, our designer. He shows me the design for scene 27B, drawn up by Reese Ifan, our senior art director. And it's great. It's lovely. It's haunting and atmospheric and beautiful. But I look at a pile of rocks in the drawing, and bear in mind that I know nothing, but I can say, could that be? I don't know. More, I don't know more. More what? Can it be? Oh, I don't know an actual thing. Most things are, what do you mean? Like, ooh, like a statue, a fallen statue. That's very modern, fallen statues. I glow with my modernness. Phil sighs and says, well, that wouldn't fit. Other dimensions, there isn't room for a statue, but what about a statue's head? Oh, I say, I'm thrilled with the idea. My idea, like a great big giant statue's head, great, and then I spy a dog with a puffy tail and run after it, leaving behind an awful lot of decisions. Scene 27B is being shot in 10 days' time, so Phil asks Reese to make some adjustments to the sketch, having an 8-foot high ancient sculpted head within a couple of hours. Reese then sends Phil a sketch back, officially known as Head Sketch 2, which is great, and once that's okayed, quickly he draws up a revised sketch with precise dimensions, and our supervising art director, Robin Peeber, asks the sculptors at Polyprops if they have time at short notice to build a giant head and provide a quote. Please, quickly, please, they do. Quote provided, budget rearranged, so Robin commissions the giant head, plus additional matching rubble as fast as she can. On Wednesday the 31st of May, bang, crash, saw, clatter. 4. Working days later, the giant head is delivered to stage 3 of Wolf Studios at the end of Tuesday the 6th of June in all of its polystyrene polyethylene coated glory. But wait, hold on, the design isn't finished. Reese sends Phil a Photoshop paint over of the head with an idea for blue markings on the face. Phil's thinking's fast, says, yes, wonderful, but maybe tone the blue down. Desaturate, yeah, but yes, off you go. A team of painters then spent a couple of... where was it to? Oh yes, a team of painters then spent a couple of days sealing, texturing and painting the sculpt under Reese's supervision. Finally, on the day of the shoot at 6 a.m, Reese and the set dressers haul the giant head into the position on the set. They bed it in the floor with grit and rubble and scatter dust all over it. They stand back and it's beautiful. They did it for you. And then look at me wandering onto the set, come to have a little shoofty, but really to meet the guest star because, you know, famous. Okay, so I stand there, I look around, this giant head. Oh, I say, that's nice. It's a giant head. A perspiring team nods. I said, that's a good idea. More nods. I said, it's amazing what you've got lying around, isn't it? God, but your job's fun. Oh look, there's a famous person, bye-bye, and off I go. Nothing. So that was the letter from the showrunner from Doctor Who magazine issue 593. The next thing I'm going to talk about is the production diary, which is written by Scott Hancock, and this is for the month of June 2023. And reads, music is in the air as Doctor Who script editor Scott Hancock files his latest report from Wolf Studios as filming commenced on the final block of shooting Atlas first season. This year's specials near completion and plans start picking up pace for the next season. Thursday the 1st of June. The month kicks off with a typical Thursday at Bad Wolf. Usually we try to pick out the more exciting sounding meetings for the production diary. We also want to give a sense of everything that goes on within a modern TV production environment. Yes, we have our big 4-hour tone meetings every few weeks and our equally long production meetings for each block, but we never really mention the routines. Thursdays, for instance, include a lot of weekly catch-up meetings, covering everything from contracts to costume, budgets to locations, clearances and rights, all the day-to-day business that keeps ticking over throughout production. Today also squeezes in a pre-light session for the TARDIS ahead of Block 5, wires and sound effects meetings for the same episodes, plus a VFX review of a Block 3 episode. Friday the 2nd of June, another pre-light today, this time for set first scene in the upcoming specials. Monday the 5th of June, Block 5 begins filming today, double banking with Block 4. Tuesday the 6th of June, Benjamin Cook visits the set for Doctor Who magazine just as our other Ben C. Director Ben Chesel makes a splash on his final day of filming Block 4. Meanwhile, at the Sherman Theatre in Cardiff, Bonnie Langford returns to set for her first day back as Melanie Bush. Wednesday the 7th of June, today we shot some pickups for a Block 2 sequence. One of the advantages of working on our own video shoots is it gives us the ability to respond to things in the edit and, as today, offer a few alternatives before we picture lock. Meanwhile, upstairs in the office, production runner Danny Van der Nurgen adorns a coffee with the Doctor Who logo. His latte art is now infamous and it even has its own Instagram account, which is DW_Danny Latte Art. Monday the 12th of June, set decorator assistant Lois Drage leads me down to stage 3 to look at how work on the upcoming set is coming along. Across the studio, I spot a former companion gathering dust on the studio floor. Tuesday the 13th of June, the senior production team meet to discuss future crew for the next season, and we receive script revisions for our two Block 5 episodes, Pink and Blue respectively. Wednesday the 14th of June. With Block 5 now underway, the regular routines keep ticking along. Wednesdays include catch-ups with Millennium FX, who oversee our prosthetic requirements, post-production, who are busy wrapping up on the specials, working through our current season and planning how to tackle what comes next. Second Assistant Director Lauren Patt also visits the production office to print a script for one of our guest cast. Friday the 16th of June, costume designer Pam Down meets with our producer to discuss budget and potential plans for Season 2. Tuesday the 20th of June, Doctor Who is about so much more than just what you see on the screen. It's this magazine and comic strips and books, audio dramas, action figures. The possibilities run endless, which is why BBC Studios holds a regular licensee day. This is where all the creative teams like BBC Books, Big Finish, Titan Comics, Character Options and more, so many more, venture to Cardiff to sit down with Russell T Davies and the team, tour the studios, watch clips from the upcoming episodes and generally get a feel for where the show's heading in the coming year. There's one sequences don't bother asking, their lips are sealed. Thursday the 22nd of June, our executive producer team plus producer Vic Sindel head across to Bang post-production for the final mix of this year's third special, The Giggle. This is where everyone sits down to watch the episode in its most complete form, focusing on its sound effects, music and level mixing. Spoiler, it's always also almost finished. But Doctor Who never rests, and when they return to the studio, they're greeted by draft one of our very first script for the next season. The adventure continues. Just to clarify, that's for the 2025 season, I assume. Friday the 23rd of June, Block 3 crew reassemble to discuss an important ADR recording session due to take place early in July. Monday the 26th of June, executive producers gather with director Ben Chisel, producer Chris May, and editor Chris Roebuck to view the first full cut of the Block 4 episode. It's unlike anything Doctor Who has ever done before. And finally, Tuesday 27th of June, the Block 5 team break down to discuss a new take on a familiar set, and Murray Gold delivers a brand new theme for the upcoming era. Russell plays it on a loop at full volume so it echoes down Brad Wolf's corridors. Nobody tells him, because we're all just really enjoying it. So that was Scott Hancock's production diary from Doctor Who magazine, issue 593. Next up will be the interview with David Tennant and Catherine Tate, who will be playing the 14th Doctor and Donna Noble respectively in the 3 60th anniversary specials in November. So yes, here is the interview with David Tennant and Catherine Tate. Second time around, they're back during a break in recording one of the 60th anniversary specials. Emily Cook caught up with David Tennant and Catherine Tate to reflect on a series of unexpected events. On the 16th of April 2020, at the height of the first COVID lockdown, David Tennant and Catherine Tate joined the Subwave Network WhatsApp group, ready to receive instructions for their first Doctor Who lockdown tweet-along. Ping, David, got it. Well, I don't really, but I'm happy to have found this. Ping, Catherine, yes, I've no idea, but great to be connected. 3 days later, we watched the 2008 episodes, The Stolen Earth and Journey's End with Doctor Who fans around the world. Have I watched the right one? I'm wearing a long multicoloured scarf and a floppy hat, tweeted David. Catherine, have we been on it yet, David? Don't tell me those children are us. As the end credits rolled, David posted, very proud to be part of this. So many happy times and such a fantastic group of people to have worked with, Catherine. I echo that. Stay safe, everyone. Sending all much part human, part-time Lord love, David. Seeing that again made me very happy. Thanks, everyone. 18 months and 2 days later, on the 18th of December, 8 months and 2 days later, even on the 18th of December, we tweeted along to the 2000 episode of Runaway Bride. I think I had no idea I was ever going to come back, nor did Donna, tweeted Catherine. Afterwards, more messaging, this time with former showrunner Rusty Davis too, reminiscing about how much fun had Doctor Who and wondering only half seriously if we could ever possibly do it all again. And then an unbelievable turn of events. On 1 year, 5 months and 2 days later, on the 20th of May 2022, found myself on location for a new episode celebrating Doctor Who's 60th anniversary with the Doctor and Donna. Who would have thought it, said David. We were all locked down in our houses and now we've ended up back here again. Here we quite actually are. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what's written here. Catherine joins in. Here we joyously are. David replies, here on this particular occasion is an underground car park at Wembley in the middle of the night. It's incredible, says Catherine. David and Catherine's return is especially exciting for the now grown-up children like myself who watched the 10th Doctor's adventures with Donna Noble in the late noughties. They're the fans who I hope will look after us in our dotage, says Catherine. As for the new generation of young fans, they'll ask, who are those two old people? David laughs. When you feel old, anyone under the age of 17 watched Doctor Who now wasn't even born when Catherine made her debut as Donna Noble in the 2006 Christmas special, but it's possible they were watching perhaps for the first time in December 2020 during the pandemic, and that's significant because, as Catherine remembers, the Runaway Bride tweet-along was when this all started. I don't do that tweet-along, said David. That's right, for the record, it was only Catherine and Russell who tweeted along for the Runaway Bride. David's contribution was a festive video message, but all three were texted afterwards. Catherine talked to us through that sequence of events. How did we watch the first episode of Doctor Who turn into all this? I watched The Runaway Bride and probably hadn't seen it since the first went out. I'm not on social media, so I was tweeting through someone. That someone was me. Wait, are you Emily? This is the first time we're meeting in person since lockdown and my face is half obscured by a mask. Emily, hello, yeah, sorry. So I was tweeting through you. I watched the episode, then after it finished, Russell texted me. I got the text message exchange on my phone and said, ooh, wasn't that marvellous? Then I think he said, what great memories, thank you for letting me play Donna, thank you for that character, what a great character. And he said, God, I love writing for you too, wouldn't it be great if we can do it again? And I said, we can't, can we? His obstacle at the time was, we'll never get David to do it. I don't know why he thought that, David chips in. Maybe he thought it was your schedule or something. David laughs modestly. Yes, I'm terribly busy, and then do you remember I texted you, David, and said, Russell, would you like to do Doctor Who again? How do you like them apples, or something? And David replies, I'd love it, I'd do it in a heartbeat. So it was an easy yes, David. Oh yes, absolutely. So I texted Russell back, continues Catherine, and said, DT's in, standing for David Tennant, let's get the band up back together. And then I've got a text from Russell going, oof, right, this will take some mighty thinking. I'm sure we said all this not thinking it would actually ever happen. Even for Russell, the bit that I want to know from Russell Wonders Davis is what was the development from that? My theory, says Catherine, it's sci-fi, you can make up your own rules. There's always been an anniversary or something like that coming up, won't there? Once I'm Minister David, what happens in between him having an idea for one story and thinking we'd all get back together to do it as one special, to doing 3 specials, to now running the show again? Taking over the world. I mean, I don't know how it happened, but either way, I'd like a cut as the broker, Catherine laughed. Since this interview was conducted, Russell has explained in the pages of Doctor Who magazine issues 584 and 586 how his second era of Doctor Who, fondly dubbed RTD2 by fans, came about. At the time of speaking with David and Catherine, it was relatively early days and the return had just been announced. As I said earlier, said Catherine, I'm not on social media, so I have no idea what the reaction was. As long as they remember us, that's where my bar is. It's just nice not to have to lie to friends anymore, said David. It's nice to be a bit more open about what one's doing without giving too many details, but it's a bit secret, stressed Catherine. It was very under the radar. Was there anyone that they entrusted the secret to? A couple of people in my life who sort of figured it out and I didn't disabuse them, said David. A couple of people I told just before the announcement, like my kids. What was their reaction? The really sweet reaction was Ty, who's 20. Of course, he was a kid when I was on Doctor Who the first time around, and he was absolutely delighted. I don't think I've pleased Ty that much probably ever, so that was very pleasing. Because he's the generation that experienced it as a kid and is now old enough to enjoy the revisitation of that, I told my daughter quite early on, said Catherine. Is she good at keeping big secrets though? Asked David. Very, very, very. When I realised as I said it, I thought, I'm not sure, I should have given that information to Virginia to be like, don't tell anyone for a year, but she didn't. You don't want to burden someone with a secret like that in a way, considers David, because it's a bit toxic when it's closely guarded. There were a couple of people who'd obviously got wind of it somehow who asked me straight out and I just lied to their face, and then last Sunday, whenever the announcement was, I had to do lots of messaging around going, I did lie to your face, hope you'll understand, I'm sure you know how it works. So there was a bit of that. David and Catherine had thrown themselves into the evening shoot. David has been running on his knees so energetically he wore a hole in his nice new trousers. It's like the Doctor and Donna have never been away. Both have, of course, reprised their roles in audio dramas for Big Finish. Did they feel that they had to do much catching up with the characters in terms of bringing them back on screen? No, I didn't, said David. I didn't go back and watch any. Partially because I was terrified, yeah. Let's not compare and contrast, asked Catherine. No, I didn't either. Also, they're not exactly the same version of themselves as they were, David points out. And Donna doesn't understand any of it anyway, adds Catherine. Neither me nor Donna know what's going on. I believe my soul is too lowbrow to comprehend what happens. My intellect is too low rent. It's quite tricky for me, so it's almost would have been counterproductive to put all those adventures into my head. That's me being quite method, or just an excuse for not having done any research or homework, David teased. I like to start afresh where Donna is right now. Also, David asked, the Doctor's been 3 different people in the meantime, so I'm not necessarily the same version of Doctor that I was before. I'm not the 10th Doctor now, I'm the 14th. Well, strictly speaking, we don't actually know what the actual number is anymore, do we? Don't we, ask Catherine? Should we explain Thomas Child to Catherine? Catherine asks, what is it? Is it like a quiz or something? Quiz that I won't know the answer to. It's what went on in Jodie's era, says David. Wait, is this the Flux? A bit of that. There's a whole other Doctor now, played by Joe Martin. What do you mean? Jodie's Doctor met another version of herself. She met a previous version of herself, which was a big surprise for everyone, including her, including the Doctor. He explains, David, that's right, isn't it? I think I've got that right. From standing start, there's a lot to catch up on. I don't think that means you can just jump in and enjoy the ride, sorry. But if you're going to be immersed in it, it's a lot. There's 60 years worth of stuff. Gosh, they're also different, considers Catherine. I think this one we're doing today, which is the Star Beast, is very joyous, says David, and is based on a Doctor Who magazine comic strip, Doctor Who and the Star Beast, published in Doctor Who Weekly in 1980. Which I remember. We've got the comic strip guys, Pat Mills and Dave Gibbons, coming in. I'm desperate to meet them. These are big, proper, important stories that are just a blast, says Catherine. And it's with Russell, Julie, Phil and Jane, adds David. We really did get the band to get back together, says Catherine. It's also familiar, I had to say though, I forgot how much running was involved and my boots are so uncomfortable. I'm going to see if I can change them. If I want to happen that at the beginning of episode 2, done Donald goes, I found these trainers in the TARDIS. I remember there's a lot of running involved. We might have to do that. I can't wear these boots. Boots aside, so much fun. Catherine grins. David smiles too. It really is. Pre-pandemic, would you ever imagine you'd be back here now in this way? No, never, said David. You think it'd be nice to come back and do one day as a runner. Like for comic relief or children in need or something, suggests Catherine. Yeah, exactly, David agrees, but not another proper go like this. Because it's not how the show has previously worked. Yeah, there's no point of reference for this to happen, is there? Continues Catherine. Never thought I'd got a second bite like this. But it is wonderful, says David, bountiful. It does feel like being given a lovely present. It feels like that to fans too. Take it from the fan writing this article. Well, thank you for making this happen, said David. Yes, thank you, adds Catherine. If you've not done the tweet-alongs, so it's not me who brought it together, it's you, Emily. It was the butterfly effect. There were so many events that had to happen, like a worldwide pandemic, points out David. An army of Doctor Who fans showing up for their favourite show and for each other at a time of unprecedented global uncertainty. It takes a village, said Catherine, and we were the village elders. That was the David Tennant and Catherine Tate interview from Doctor Who magazine, issue 593. And the last bit of 60th anniversary news that we talk about from Doctor Who magazine, issue 593, is the polls. And the polls in this issue were for the 10th and 11th Doctor. So, yes, I'm only going to go through the polls. I'm not going to read through, yes, I'm just going to go through it. So, so there's 36 stories to go through. So from bottom, we've got Fear Her, Lazarus Experiment, Love and Monsters, The Idiot's Lantern, Planet of the Dead, 42, Daleks in Manhattan, Evolution of the Daleks, New Earth, The Doctor's Daughter, The Next Doctor, The Shakespeare Cove, The Sontaran Stratagem and the Poisoned Sky, Tooth and Claw, Voyage of the Damned, Rise of Cybermen and the Age of Steel, The Runaway Bride, The Unicorn and the Wasp, Gridlock, Planet of the Ood, Christmas Invasion, Smith and Jones, The End of Time, Partners in Crime, The Fires of Pompeii, Army of Ghosts and Doomsday, Utopia, The Sound of Drums and Last of the Time Lords, Score Reunion, The Impossible Planet and the Satan Pit, The Stolen Earth and Journey's End, The Girl in the Fireplace, The Waters of Mars, Turn Left, Midnight, Silence in the Library and the Forest of the Dead, Human Nature and the Family Blood, and the favourite story of the 10th Doctor is Blink. Now on to the 11th Doctor now. Yes, there we are. So same there, but there's 39 stories instead of 34. So we've got The Doctor, The Widow and The Wardrobe, Nightmare in Silver, The Curse of the Black Spot, Journey to the Centre of TARDIS, Closing Time, The Rings of Akaten, Night Terrors, Victory of the Daleks, Power of 3, Let's Kill Hitler, Dinosaurs on a Spaceship, The Rebel Flesh and the Almost People, The Hungry Earth and Cold Blood, The Wedding of River Song, The Beast Below, The Town Called Mercy, The Vampires of Venice, The Bells of St. John, The Lodger, Cold War, Hyde, The Crimson Horror, Asylum of the Daleks, Good Man Goes to War, The Angels Take Manhattan, The Time of the Doctor, The Snowman, The Name of the Doctor, The God Complex, The Girl Who Waited, Amy's Choice, The Christmas Carol, The Impossible Astronaut and Day of the Moon, The Time of Angels and Flesh and Stone, The Doctor's Wife, The Pandorica Opens in the Big Bang, The 11th Hour, Vincent the Doctor, and the favourite 11th Doctor story is the 50th anniversary special, The Day of the Doctor. And that's actually where I'm going to finish this episode. So yeah, I only went through one of the issues, so we've got 3 issues left. So if it takes as long as that did, it's going to be another 3 episodes, but I don't know. But that is it for the Everything Podcast. Well, actually, before I go, question, what was your favourite thing that I spoke about in this episode? Let me know in the comments below. You can also comment, like and subscribe. And that is it for the Everything Podcast, Season 2, Episode 96. Goodbye.